Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are doing more Go Battle League battles today, and I actually have 20 in this video, so count them guys, 20. We have a long video ahead of us. It's almost an hour, so I don't know that I'm going to do 20 every day. In fact, I can guarantee you that I'm not. I'm going to aim for 10, a little bit more than 5, but I think 20 might be a little bit too much, but we do have 20 for this video. So I am going in with Defense Deoxys, Azumel, and Registeel, the same team that I had been going in with. And some of you had been requesting other Pokemon, like budget Pokemon, or just different teams, like with no legendaries that you would like to see. And I definitely hear you. There's definitely totally good. There's a good Pokemon, right, that you could use outside of Deoxys and Registeel. So you could use other Pokemon that are cheap to use and still do well and raise yourself in the rankings. So I do plan on doing that for you guys, but I had some of these already recorded, so I'm just going in with this team for these battles, and then I'll go ahead and look at my other options and see what other Pokemon I want to try out, and we'll do different Pokemon. I'll definitely hear what you guys have to say. If you want to leave your team in the comments down below and let me know what Pokemon you want to see me use, what team you want me to use. If you want me to use your team, definitely leave it down below and I will look into it, and maybe I will feature your team. I had featured somebody's team that posted it a couple videos ago, so I'm definitely always available to possibly feature another team as well. Because I understand it could get a little bit boring with the same 3 Pokemon, whether or not you're playing or watching. I totally understand it. But yeah, for this video we do have it, and we're going up against this battler, and currently has Meganium with Razor Leaf. So I switched into Azumel immediately so I can get off that Ice Punch, because I don't want it to be able to knock me out. I want to be able to do some damage. So we do get to the Ice Punch. I do go ahead and shield this. I don't know, I said Ice Punch, I meant Ice Beam, excuse me. So I shielded that in the hopes that I could get to another Ice Beam, but I wasn't successfully able to. So I just bring in my Registeel, and I have 1 shield, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going to go ahead and shield this one up, and we're good to go because we have the Flash Cannon. So we're going to go ahead and win game 1, so that was a very well played battle against my opponent, and thank you so much for battling. I really do appreciate it. And as always guys, I probably won't mention it in every single video, but if you see yourself in one of my videos in Go Battle League, definitely comment down below and let me know, or tweet me on Twitter if you follow me. Definitely always interested in hearing it. Another thing is, if I do longer videos, like 10 battle videos, I probably won't include the rewards and everything. I'll just edit that out. But for the next match, my opponent does lead with a Vigoroth. I have a Defense Deoxys. This is favorable for me because counter is going to be super effective to the normal type Vigoroth. Although Vigoroth is not a bad option, Defense Deoxys is favorable. Going to go ahead and catch a shield from that Rock Slide, and we'll probably take back-to-back Body Slams. We take one, there's another, so going to go ahead and take those attacks, but that's okay with me. At least we took a shield. So we're just going to go ahead and go for another Rock Slide. So she could win this matchup if she decides to use her last shield, but she's not going to. But I would have been totally okay with that. Bringing in the Wish Cache. So I'm going to go ahead and I look to see what I have in the back, and I'm okay with letting Defense Deoxys go down. I'm glad she didn't try and farm me down. I'm glad she used her energy. But I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Azumel. It has Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. I still can't decide if I want Ice Beam or Play Rough on it. I do like the Hydro Pump, but I don't know on the other one. It's really a tricky situation. So she switches into Venusaur. I have to get out, so I'm going to go for the Ice Beam. And the reason I have to get out so bad is because this is a Razor Leaf variant, isn't it? I think it's Razor... No, never mind. Excuse me, it's Vine Whip. But I have to get out nonetheless. And she's going to hit us with a Frenzy Plant. And I was pretty sure it was a Frenzy Plant, even if it was a Sludge Bomb. That's even worse, so you should just go for the Frenzy Plant. So definitely a huge position for me. Registeel, I mean, I kind of walls Venusaur, but at the same time, look how much damage we're taking. In fact, we're taking so much damage from the Venusaur, we actually have to use a shield. We might have been able to live that, but we do go ahead and use a shield just so we have energy stored up, and I do go straight for my Focus Blast to get a lot of damage against Wish Cache because my other move, Flash Cannon, is going to be resistant. She will take it, probably expecting the Flash Cannon. That's probably why she took it. so she'll hit us with Mud Bomb. Registeel will go down. Totally fine with me. We bring in a Azumel. I'm in a beautiful position because I still have a shield, and a Mud Bomb wouldn't knock me out at this range anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that, and I think I just commit to fainting down with Bubble. I do. So we do go ahead and win that, so GG's to my opponents. Really nicely played. And we're going to jump into my next opponent, and let's see what they've got for us. We're going to lead with Defense Deoxys. They will lead with Azumel, so I'll take this lead. We do have that Thunderbolt. That's why I like having Thunderbolt, and I like having Rock Slide for the Altaria lead. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and go straight for the Thunderbolt. I don't try to bait in this situation because I usually don't expect the shield, because Thunderbolt, as you can see, it does good damage, but it's nothing crazy. You know, it's not going to knock it out or anything. So Ice Beam will come my way, so I'm not going to shield that, thankfully. And we're going to get another charge move. I was pretty sure it couldn't be Hydro Pump, and it's going to be another Ice Beam, so we're going to be able to take it. So as you can see, we're going to be able to win this matchup, unless she wants to use a shield. She might. Wouldn't be a bad play, so she does go ahead and use the shield. That's fine, and then she'll be able to feint us down, so she will win that after using a shield. I think she also wins if she gets off a Hydro Pump as well. Prior to that instead of Ice Beams, but I'm not really too sure. I'll have to look into it. Anyway, the Hydro Pump's coming against my Registeel now. I was hoping because she was using Ice Beam against my Deoxys that she didn't have Hydro Pump, but as you can see, she does have it, so nicely played. So this Flash Cannon should knock out. It does, so she's going to allow it, or he's going to allow it to go down, excuse me. Defense Deoxys, is that Defense Deoxys? I think it was. We'll get off the Flash Cannon, and it is Defense Deoxys. Okay, he'll take it. And I was trying to get to another one. I didn't think I could, but that's okay. We'll bring in a Azumel, so I do have to be careful. We do have to watch out for the Thunderbolt. I still have 2 shields. I will shield Psycho Boost. That tells me that he doesn't have it. He doesn't have Thunderbolt. Well, yeah, he probably doesn't have Thunderbolt. He probably would have went for it. So we do go for the Ice Beam, and unfortunately, this is a Razor Leaf variant, guys. So we are absolutely being eaten alive by this Tropius. If this was an Ass Slash one, I think we would have won. We got off the Ice Beam now, and this Ice Beam is just not going to be enough to knock out the Tropius. So it does a lot of damage, but it's not enough. So Razor Leaf's just going to be able to farm me down, and we're going to go ahead and take a loss for that. But that was very well played. Tropius really putting in work. I've generally been able to beat teams that had Tropius in the past in Go Battle League, but this time it got me. So good game. Good game. For the next match, I lead Deoxys. He leads with Munchlax. Now, Munchlax is actually a good Pokemon, and if we're talking cheap investments, if you have a lucky one, it's going to be cheap to power up and cheap to give the second move. Lick, Body Slam, really good Pokemon. It's pretty tanky. It's a good option. It's a good option if you want to consider budget picks. We do have Counter, but anyway, nice switch on his end. He's going to switch into Azumel. I wish I went for Thunderbolt. I did not. That's okay. We're going to switch into Registeel now. And again, I have to kind of hope that Azumel does not have Hydro Pump. It might. So we're going to get off the Flash Cannon, and he's going to allow it to go through. Not going to be able to do too much damage. I mean, it does okay damage. It's neutral. So the Play Rough comes through. So either a bluff or he doesn't have the Hydro Pump. So I'm assuming he doesn't have it. So let's see. We go for the Flash Cannon, and is it going to be met with a shield? It is. So maybe he wants to go for the Hydro Pump. Maybe he does have it. Maybe he was trying to bluff me. So I am going to go ahead and let this go through. It is actually going to be another Play Rough. So that tells me that there's no Hydro Pump. Now the Bastiodon comes in, and I'm like, let me get to the Focus Blast. I thought this was going to be shielded, but I went for the Focus Blast anyway. And it's actually not shielded. That's beautiful for me, guys. Beautiful. So I knew that I would probably be able to feint down first with Lock On if he didn't use a charge move. So I'm okay with him using up his energy on my Deoxys. So I'm going to bring in, not Deoxys, but I'm going to bring in Deoxys now. And now Munchlax comes in, probably using a Body Slam against Deoxys. Totally fine. Body Slam will knock me out. We still have 2 shields, so we have a positive shield advantage. And now that Azumel comes in, so we're going to go ahead and get off the Ice Beam. Now, honestly, I don't think this knocks out, but I'm assuming the shield's going to come as it does. Yeah, that wouldn't have knocked it out, although it would have been close. But yeah, you obviously have to shield. Now, I don't have to shield. I don't have to use any of my shields, but I might as well, right? You better be safe than sorry, right? Who knows? Maybe earlier they gave Azumel a new move that I didn't know about, right? So you better shield. No, I know that didn't happen, but I'm just messing around. But we do go ahead and knock out that Azumel and take that. So that was a good game to my opponent. I appreciate the game. So let's find another opponent. I don't know, is this game 5 of the first series? I'm not too sure, but we do lead with Defense Deoxys. Most games I am leading with Deoxys, although I think I do switch it around, and that's actually a Water Gun variant, so this is not a good matchup for me because Swampert resists all of my moves besides counter, but yeah, it is a Water Gun variant, so I'm going to switch into my Azumarill, and we're actually going to... He's actually going to switch into Altaria. So that was a very shocking switch. I was not expecting that at all. So I am going to go ahead and go for my Ice Beam. It could have been a miss switch. Totally understandable. So that will be shielded. And now he is going to be able to get off a charge move against me. I do shield it up. I probably didn't have to. I mean, I know I could have taken that. But I decided to shield it. So I am going to go for the Ice Beam. And that will not be shielded, almost knocking out Altaria. So my goal right now is to feint with Bubble, and we do feint with Bubble. So we do go ahead and knock out that Altaria and have energy ready to go against the Swampert. I do go for the Ice Beam, hoping to take that last shield. And we do. So we do go ahead and take that last shield. Now, a charge move is coming out. I think it's going to be Hydro Cannon. It is, so we're able to take Hydro Cannon quite nicely. And I knew he would be able to get to another Hydro Cannon as he does. So again, I keep on forgetting that it's a Water Gun variant because I'm so used to Mud Shot. But I do go ahead and shield that, and we are going to go ahead and go for the Ice Beam, which will be enough to knock out the Swampert. So Swampert is going to go ahead and fall. And now Umbreon comes in, so we're going to switch into Deoxys. Now this is not a good matchup. Deoxys is not good against Umbreon, even though we have counter because he has dark moves. But I want him to kind of use his energy up against my Deoxys. So he is going to go ahead and use that Foul Play, and that will knock us out. So that's fine. We bring in Registeel, and now we just have to try and charge up for the Focus Blast. We could take Foul Plays, we could take Dark Pulse, so we could definitely take Last Resort, right? So we are going to be able to take these attacks, and we do get to that Focus Blast, and this is... Does this knock it out? I'm actually not sure. It does not. It's super close. We're going to be able to feint it with Lock On, but yeah, actually didn't knock it out. If I got the Excellent, I would have. But either way, we do go ahead and win that, so very well played on my opponent's end. So we're going to jump into another battle. I think this is the start of the second set of battles. It is Fortress against my Deoxys. So favorable for me because he is weak to counter, although my charge moves are not doing much. Switching into Minun. So very interesting. I am not going to switch. I'm actually going to hang around. So he's going to go ahead and go for a charge move. Going to be Discharge, doing a decent amount, but we're able to take it because Deoxys is so incredibly bulky. We do go for a Rock Slide, and this Rock Slide is going to be shielded, so that's really good for me because I want to get the shields away as early as possible, as always. And we go for another shield, so we might actually lose Deoxys defense to this Minun, thanks to him using both shields, but I'm okay with that. Deoxys already did its job and took both shields. We actually get to another Rock Slide, so we might actually win this matchup. Let's see if we do. I don't even remember. So can counter feint it? Wow, we actually took both shields and still won that matchup. That's crazy. So that's awesome. Deoxys, way to go. We had like 1 HP, but we have 2 shields. We're looking nice. Bringing in Mantine, and I look at my team. I'm like, yeah, I don't really have a great answer to Mantine. So I just bring in my my Azumarill. So I do have the Ice Beam, but it's not going to do much to a Mantine. Mantine is bulky. So Bubble Beam is going to hit us. Bubble Beam won't do much to us. It's just going to be annoying. So this is not going to do much because I was debuffed. It would have done more, obviously, had I not been debuffed. Mantine is another good budget pick because it lowers the attack with Bubble Beam, and if you purchase a second move as a Mantike, that's only 10k, so that is definitely a good way to go if you want to look for a cheap option. I know a lot of people are using Mantine, and a lot of people are recommending it, so buy the second move as Mantike before you evolve it. So anyway, that was a nice switch on his end to catch the Ice Beam. So I do switch into my Registeel. I blanked on the name, but yeah, so he does go for Thunder. I knew it had Thunder. I knew that was neutral to me, but I knew I could take it. So I go for the Focus Blast to knock out the Fortress, and in comes Mantine, and this is definitely a favorable position for us, Bubble Beams are not going to do much. Bubble Beam, as I said, is good. Mantine is good, but it's more good as a lead, I think. So if you're going in with Mantine, I would probably begin with it, probably. And that's a Pokemon I am considering trying out for Go Battle League as well. I do have one, so we're going to go ahead and shield this Bubble Beam. I didn't have to, but I was like, well, we have the shields. We might as well use them, right? I'm not trying to win with 2 shields. I don't really care. But so we're going to go ahead and knock out Mantine with Flash Cannon and take that game. So it was a very nice game, very well played. Thank you for battling. I do appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and find my next opponent. Let's see who it is. So we found her. So let's see what she's got going for us. So battle will begin, and I do lead with my Deoxys again, Electivire. Now it's interesting because I was actually hanging out with Jokes when I was doing these battles, and we were outside having a good time doing that voting contest for those community day Pokemon. He's like, Electivire is doing a lot of damage. That Wild Charge, it hits like a truck, and it does. And I was afraid that Thunder Punch was going to be Wild Charge, but I still let it go through. Luckily, I let it go through because you could even see, even Thunder Punch, which is not a powerful move, is still doing a good amount of damage to a defense Deoxys, isn't it? So, it's pretty interesting Pokemon. One that I might want to try out myself, but anyway, we knock it out. It is squishy, but outside of that, it is pretty good. So she knocks us out, unfortunately, with that beautiful shiny Gyarados. So I do have my Azumel, and I am going to charge up for the Ice Beam. She will go for moves. Now, I was thinking in my head what moves Gyarados has. Twister, Crunch, Outrage. I basically knew it wouldn't do anything to me, right? Nothing this has can do anything to me. So I go for the Ice Beam. It is going to be shielded. That's totally fine. And I'm going to get to another Ice Beam. Well, actually, she gets to a charge move first. It's going to be another Twister, so I'm going to let it go through. And I do get off my Ice Beam right now. Now, honestly, I didn't think this was going to do much. It actually knocks out the Gyarados. I know it's neutral. Gyarados is so squishy in the Great League. I just did not think it was going to do much. Now we have this Infernape, the shiny Infernape. That's Rock Smash, isn't it? I don't know what other move. Does it get counter? I think it gets counter. I think that's the moveset you want. Or Fire Spin. I don't really know what moveset it gets. I apologize. But regardless, great games. Really nice battles. So we're going to move on to my next opponent. We found him. So let's see how we do in this game. I do lead with my Defense Deoxys. He leads with Altaria. So I'll take this matchup because we do have that Rock Slide. So I am just charging up for Rock Slide. And we do get to it. So we're going to go ahead and use Rock Slide right now. This does not knock out an Altaria, but it does a good amount of damage. After the counter damage and everything, it's a 2-hit KO. So it won't be a 2-hit KO straight off the bat, right? But we get the counter damage going to get that Rock Slide, and it's going to be able to knock it out. Unless if he decides to shield, then he'll be able to win this matchup. And he does shield. He does use that shield, and then he faints me down with Dragon Breath. So I do have my Registeel as well as my Azumarill. And let's see what I decide to bring in. I decide to bring in the Azumarill. Now, I know I resist all of the moves coming from Altaria with Registeel, but I brought in my Azumarill because, first of all, we could take a Sky Attack. Second of all, we have a better chance of farming down the Altaria. Now, I remember thinking I'm going to farm down. Do I actually farm it down? I think I try and farm it down. Maybe I farm a bunch of energy. Okay, so I do go ahead and farm it down. He must have been close to a Sky Attack. Bringing in that Azumarill, so not really great for us because we don't have the Play Rough, so I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump. He will take it. I'll bring in my Registeel. Now, obviously, I hope that he doesn't have a Hydro Pump of his own. So I am going to go ahead and shield this to see. Unfortunately for me, it's an Ice Beam, so I should have allowed it to go through, but it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and go for Flash Cannon, doing a good amount of damage, but not enough to knock it out. So we're trying to get to another Flash Cannon. We do get to it. So if he has Hydro Pump, he's likely to shield this because he wants to get to it. He does shield it. That tells me that he probably is going for the Hydro Pump. Am I going to shield this? I am because, as you can see, he shielded it, and there's really no reason for him to shield it if he wasn't going for the Hydro Pump because Ice Beam as well as Play Rough are not going to do much at all. So I do go for the Flash Cannon. I didn't want him to get to another charge move. So now he brings in Registeel of his own. So because we have energy ready to go, we do get to the Focus Blast before he's able to, and that will do a good amount of damage to him, and he's going to unfortunately get to his charge move, what I only can assume is going to be a Focus Blast as it is, so that's going to knock out my Registeel. And now I bring in a Azumarill, and guess what, guys, we actually get to that Ice Beam, and he's low enough. Does it? I don't know if this knocks it out, but Bubble will. It does knock it out. So super close, super close. At one point I didn't think I was going to win that game, but we do go ahead and pull it on out. So very good game to my opponent, very close. I really enjoyed that battle. So let's go ahead and jump into the next game with Defense Deoxys against Mawile. Now, I was going to get ready to switch because I assumed Bite, but it's actually Ice Fang. So I'm like, okay, Ice Fang, I'll stay in with my Deoxys, sure. So now I switch in with my Registeel. Now, I know this has Acid Spray, Sludge Wave, Dark Pulse. It is going to be a Sludge Wave. Registeel can easily take that. I do have to watch out for Dark Pulse too as well. I still decide to take it because I know I could still take a Dark Pulse. But it does a decent amount of damage, so I'm going to go ahead and bluff with the Flash Cannon. Instead of going for Focus Blast, both are neutral, and we will get a shield. So that's good for us, and now I think I am charging up for the Focus Blast. I do allow this to go through. I knew it was going to be a Dark Pulse, but I was pretty confident I could survive it, as I do. So we do get off a Focus Blast against the Alolan Muck, but he will shield it. So that's fine for us. We do take both shields. Now I will bring in my Defense Deoxys. I do have to be careful because of Dark Pulse, so I was expecting to have to use a shield in this battle because I know Dark Pulse can come at me and will. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up. I don't want to take a Dark Pulse. I'm pretty sure I could take that, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. So we do go ahead and knock out that Muck, and now in comes Whiscash. Not good for us. I will switch into my Azumarill, so we do have a Mud Bomb coming our way. It is going to be that Mud Bomb. We're able to take it, and he does switch out into Mawile, so a Hydro Pump's going to be able to take care of Mawile. Now, the move does come out. I know it has Play Rough. I decided not to shield. It's going to be a Power-Up Punch, so that is fantastic for us because he's not going to be able to benefit from that Power-Up Punch boost because we're going to knock it out with Hydro Pump. Now in comes the Whiscash. All we have to do is get to a Hydro Pump. We still have a shield, looking to be in a beautiful position. Deoxys defense still in the back for us. He actually goes for Blizzard. Should have went for Mud Bomb, but it doesn't really matter because we were going to shield it anyway. Even if he got a Mud Bomb at me, we still would have won. That actually does not knock out Whiscash, but we're able to feint him down with Bubble. So fantastic game. Really do appreciate the battles, and we're going to move on to our next opponent. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to lead with my Defense Deoxys. He is going to lead with Meganium. So not really good for me because my moves are, Meganium does resist my moves, right? So I'm going to switch into Registeel, hoping to try and catch that Frenzy Plant. Can we do it? We can, so we do go ahead and catch that Frenzy Plant. So now we're charging up for the Flash Cannon. I do have to watch out for the Earthquake, right? But we're going to go ahead and get off that Flash Cannon. He will shield it up, so I'm totally cool with that. Now, I know this could be a Frenzy Plant. It could be an Earthquake. I decide to shield. It is going to be an Earthquake. Jokes was like, you shouldn't shield that. It's going to be a Frenzy Plant. But I call it correctly. I could have taken an Earthquake anyway, but I didn't want to. So and we're going to go ahead and take his last shield. So that's definitely good for us. And I'm going to go ahead and match that. And it's going to be another Earthquake. So at least we're able to take both shields, and we lose both shields as well, but we're able to get off this Flash Cannon, and that's not going to be enough. Can Lock On be enough to feint Meganium? I was banking on the fact that this was Frenzy Plant. I don't think it could have been an Earthquake. It is a Frenzy Plant. Not going to be enough, and he actually pulls the switch, and we're able to get to a Flash Cannon against this Azumarill. So beautiful. I didn't think I'd be able to do that, so that's really good for us. And then we bring in Defense Deoxys, and we go for a Thunderbolt. So this is going to be super effective. Going to do a good amount of damage, a good chunk to that Azumarill, and then we're going to be able to take whatever move this is. Let's see what it is. It is going to be a Play Rough, so as I said, going to be able to tank it. And just trying to farm down. Unfortunately, he gets off a charge move. I got a little bit greedy. Is it going to knock me out? It is. So yeah, I could have knocked out that Azumarill. I got super greedy, but it happens. I bring in my own Azumarill, and we're able to knock out with Bubble. And now we're going to be met with that Meganium, but we're going to be able to feint it with Bubble. And now the Registeel comes in, but we have enough for a Hydro Pump. It's not going to knock out Registeel, but it's going to do a good amount to, well, a decent amount. Not even half, actually, but still a good amount. So Flash Cannon is coming my way, but I'm going to be able to take it. We can't take 2, but we could take, well, we could probably take 2, not at this range because the lock-on damage is doing damage to me. So we get to another Hydro Pump though, and this should be able to knock out the Registeel as it is, and we do go ahead and win that one. So fantastic. So we're going to move on to the next set of 5. So didn't do too well in this set. I did okay, I guess. Let's see what happens. I do lead with Deoxys. He leads with Sableye. I lose this lead 100%. So I am going to go ahead and pull this switch into my Azumel. I don't have Play Rough, but I also know he doesn't know that. So he's going to go ahead and go for a charge move against me. Going to be a Shadow Sneak, able to take it. And then he'll switch out into his own Azumel. Not good for me, again, especially if he has Play Rough. So we'll just go for the Hydro Pump. Now I'm revealing the fact that I pretty much don't have Play Rough because I would have went for it anyway. So he'll go for a charge move. I'm going to take it. I'm hoping it's not a Play Rough, but it is. So he has Play Rough at least. Could have Ice Beam, could have Hydro Pump, but that's okay. We're going to go for the Ice Beam. I believe I could have gotten into a Hydro Pump, but I went for the Ice Beam. Wasn't really too sure. But yeah, I could have gotten to it before he got to a charge move, but that's okay. So he's going to go ahead and go for a charge move. Going to be that Play Rough to knock me out. Now we have Registeel and Defense Deoxys. So let's see what happens. He's going to pull the switch into Sableye. I kind of knew that was going to happen, so I'm going to switch into Registeel immediately to match his Sableye. And he is going to go ahead and get off that Shadow Sneak against me. Totally fine. We get off a Flash Cannon against him, hoping to do a lot of damage. Obviously, you don't want to go for Focus Blast, so that will be shielded, so that's fine. We do take a shield. We're really not in a good position in this game. I mean, that lead just, it didn't cost us the game yet, but it wasn't really good, so that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and get off Flash Cannon right now. Let's see how much damage it will do to the Sableye. Nothing, because he'll shield it. So he's going to get off a charge move. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I could have shielded it, but I didn't want to because he would have just got into another charge move. He actually pulls the switch into Medicham, probably expecting, I don't know, he knew I had the Access Defense, so I'm surprised he switched into Medicham, but that's okay. Again, I let it go through. It's going to be an Ice Punch. I'm still not using my shield, and I'm down to my last Pokemon. I'm just trying to save it for Sableye. So I go for the Thunderbolt. He is out of shields. I have 2 shields, and I am going to just try and charge up energy. I have to shield now, assuming it's going to be an Ice Punch. It's actually a Power Up Punch, but again, I can't take any more damage. We cannot take damage, so we go for the Thunderbolt. This will knock out the Medicham, but his Sableye, I just can't get to my Thunderbolt, so he's going to be able to win that. I don't know what I could have done differently. We lost the lead. Good game though. Good game. I tried to come back, so I do switch up to lead to Azumel, and we actually catch the lead. Another Sableye lead. This is actually a different opponent. It's not the same opponent. Still a Sableye lead. Switching into Lantern. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge up energy and switch. Now Lantern I know gets sparked now, so that's really interesting. And he's gonna go straight for that Thunderbolt. That actually does a good amount to me. So I'm going to charge up energy. We do go for the Rock Slide. Could have went for a Thunderbolt. It is neutral as well, but I went for the Rock Slide, and this will be shielded, which I was actually okay with. And we're going to charge up some energy. Unfortunately, he gets to another charge move, so that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up because we can get to a Rock Slide. So let's see what damage this can do to a Lantern. Lantern, pretty interesting Pokemon. That's probably a Pokemon I'll use in Go Battle League as well, because I do think it's really good. He does switch into Sableye and gets off a charge move. I was going for the Thunderbolt. I could have gotten off the Rock Slide probably, but I'll let the Deoxys go down. I do bring in my Azumel right now, and I go for the Ice Beam, hoping he would shield it, thinking maybe it's a Play Rough. And he actually does not shield it. I guess he was okay with letting Sableye go down, but 2 Ice Beams going to be enough to knock it out anyway. So we do go ahead and knock out that Sableye. Play Rough would have knocked it out 1 hit, but that's okay. So he brings in Skarmory, and I am going to go ahead and charge up energy, trying to get to that Hydro Pump. We do get to it. I do go for the Hydro Pump, hoping he would think it was either a bluff or that I didn't have Hydro Pump, but he does shield it. Did he know I have Hydro Pump at this point? I think he did, actually. I'm not too sure. I think he knew it. But regardless, he could have thought it was a bluff, so he does knock me out. But we do have my Reggie Steele, and we're up a shield. Now, I know I could take attacks all day long from Skarmory. We could take Flash Cannon. We could take Sky Attack, right? So we're going to be able to take it just fine, and we go for that Focus Blast right now. Going to be neutral, and it's actually not going to do much. I thought it would do more. It didn't do much at all, so I think my plan... Let's see what happens. I think my plan at the time was to farm down or try to farm down this Lantern, but I don't think I do it because I don't think I'm able to do it. That's why I don't think I do it. So Thunderbolt's going to hit me, and I am just charging up energy. I do want to charge up energy to try and get to another Focus Blast against the Skarmory. So I do knock out the Lantern, and Skarmory comes in. Actually, I don't need Focus Blast. So we get to the Flash Cannon, where... he gets to a charge attack. I'm like, this Sky Attack probably won't knock me out, right? No, we live, and we get off the Flash Cannon. We're able to actually win that. So because Reggie Steele is really tanky, I love using Reggie Steele, guys. I know it's a huge investment, and you might not want to invest in it, and that's totally understandable. Maybe you don't have one, or maybe you just don't want to buy that second move. Maybe you don't have the candy for it. I totally get it, but it's such a good Pokemon. So next up is an Azumel mirror match. I do actually switch out, and the reason for that is because I don't have Play Rough. He brings in Tropius, or she brings in Tropius, and I'm actually happy to see that because we have Rock Slide. So by the time we get to another one, that's a 2-hit KO. So it's going to be able to knock out this Tropius, unless if she decides to shield it. So let's see if she does. She does shield it. I actually only hit a Great, so because of that, I don't know if it would have knocked it out. But regardless, we pick up a shield. Going for that Leaf Blade, we're able to take it. Maybe we can get to another one. No, we can't because she charged up extra energy, so that's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and shield this because I want to get to that Rock Slide just to either knock out the Tropius or take the last shield, both of which I am okay with doing. So I do go for the Rock Slide. Tropius will fall, so we do win the lead. We're both tied in shields, looking pretty good. Trying to get to that Thunderbolt. I could have went for the Rock Slide, but I got greedy. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I did get greedy, so I thought maybe I could have made the Thunderbolt. I should have went for the Rock Slide just to get off extra damage. So unfortunately, a Hydro Pump comes our way. So she switches into Toxicroak. I switch into my Azumel. Now, this was a mistake. I know this could be Sludge Bomb, but I either call the bait or I hope she doesn't have Sludge Bomb. I hope she has Dynamic Punch, right? So I was hoping that was not a Sludge Bomb, but it was. I should have shielded that. At the end of the day, she would have gotten to another one anyway, so I guess it didn't matter, but I don't know. I could have gotten that Ice Beam too. I tried to. I was clicking on it. Wasn't able to get to it. So I do go for the Flash Cannon and trying to knock out this Toxicroak. We do knock it out. So Toxicroak does fall, and in comes Azumel. And yeah, even if we get to the Flash Cannon, it's just not going to be enough. So she's going to be able to take this one. So a very good game to my opponent. Well played on her end. And interesting to see Toxicroak in the Go Battle League. I haven't seen it yet. So yeah, really well played. I should have shielded that Sludge Bomb, but I don't think it would have mattered. Regardless, we jump into the final game of the third batch that we're doing. And then we have one more batch of 5. So he does lead with Aerodactyl. I've never seen Aerodactyl either. Does that Aerodactyl have Bite? Because that's doing a lot to me. It might have Bite, actually. That's doing a lot of damage to me. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that Rock Slide. It will be shielded. So, wow, I can't believe how much damage that Aerodactyl is doing. So he's going to get off a charge move. I do think I shield this. Yeah, I do shield it. I'm not sure if I could take that, but we do go for the Rock Slide because I either want to take the last shield, both shields, or knock out the Aerodactyl. And we do knock out Aerodactyl, so at least we take the lead. In comes Kingdra, and I could have switched, but I decided to stay in, couldn't get to a charge move. I do have a Azumel. Now, I know Azumel can take any move that Kingdra has. It could take Outrage, it could take Octazooka, it could take Hydro Pump, right? It could take any move. It's going to be Octazooka, which is the one I was hoping it wasn't, because that's annoying that it lowers my attack. So I pull the switch. I see a Slowking on the other side of the field. So very interesting. I've never faced a Slowking before. I think Jokes used it as practice in like the Twilight Cup, just to practice with it once, like a year ago or whenever the Twilight was. But other than that, I don't think I've ever seen it. So we are hit with a Blizzard. I wasn't actually too sure what moves it had either, to be honest with you. But it was a blizzard, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the flash cannon, and that will not knock it out. Maybe we could feint it with lock on. And we're trying to. We do feint it with lock on. Very little HP. So I do actually get off my flash cannon against this Kingdra. And Kingdra is really squishy. So this is a good flash cannon, so it will be shielded totally fine. So I do switch into my Azumarill, and I do go for the Ice Beam that I had saved up already. Now this Ice Beam is neutral. I wanted to get off Ice Beam before he hits me with an Octazooka. So this game is pretty much over because I do have a shield. Plus, as I said, I know I could take these moves. I assumed it was an Octazooka, but I figured there's no harm in shielding at this point. So I am going to go ahead and go for that Ice Beam to knock out the Kingdra. So very unique team and very cool team. Highly ranked player, pretty highly ranked with a unique team. So very cool at that. So we're going to go ahead and win that. And is this the last game? This actually might be the last game in this batch. I thought that was the last game, but this might be. I lead with my Deoxys. He leads with Bastiodon, and I am going to win that lead 100%. He actually switches into Deoxys defense of his own, so I really don't have an answer, a good answer to Deoxys defense, so I decided to just stick around and go for the Thunderbolts. So he's going to hit me with a charge move, probably Rock Slide or Thunderbolt. Let's see what he goes for. Going to be that Thunderbolt, so he's going to mirror that. Totally fine. And then we're going to go ahead and get to another Thunderbolt. I do get to it, and I do go for it. So let's see if he allows this to go through. He does. So it's pretty good. He's going to go for another charge move. I will allow it. And this one's going to be a Rock Slide. So it is going to hit me, and it doesn't do as much as Thunderbolt, so we're able to take it a lot better. And I'm hoping to feint him down. We do feint him down. Literally with 1 HP can get a Rock Slide off. We cannot, unfortunately. But we still have an answer to Bastiodon because we have a Azumarill, and I know I could take Stone Edges as well as Flamethrower from this Bastiodon. So we're going to go ahead and allow this attack to go through. No need to shield. It is going to be that Stone Edge, and I am going to charge up, go straight for the Hydro Pump, going for the nuke, hoping she lets it go through, or he lets it go through, excuse me, and he does. So despite having 2 shields, he allows it, maybe thinking I didn't have it. That's totally fine. Now I see an Azumarill on my opponent's end, and that's never fun to see when I don't have Play Rough. That's one of the reasons why I'm thinking of deleting Ice Beam for Play Rough. But Ice Beam is good in other situations, like against Tropius and Altaria, although Play Rough is good against Altaria as well. But Ice Beam will not knock us out. We actually get to another Ice Beam. I did not think I would get to another one, but we do get to another one. And it's not going to do much, but it's decent. So now, obviously, 2 shields on my opponent's end. They're going to have to shield, right? So I'm going to go ahead and actually risk it, and I do not shield that, guys. Crazy. My last Pokemon, I am not shielding. What is this world coming to? It could have been a Hydro Pump, but I risked it. And it was a Play Rough. You know, yeah, so now we actually do have the shield advantage. We're actually tied now because I did go ahead and shield that. So now I know both sets. It's Ice Beam as well as Play Rough. Gonna go ahead and go for the Flash Cannon. Obviously, the last shield has to be used at this point. So we just have to get to 1 more Flash Cannon. We have a shield plus a Play Rough or an Ice Beam wouldn't knock us out anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and shield this Ice Beam. And we're gonna be able to get to the Flash Cannon. We're gonna be able to take this win. So that was very good on my opponent's end. So we do knock out that Azumarill. So well played. Yeah, well played. Didn't do super great. We had 3 wins, 2 losses, but I'll take it. We're getting high ranks, so opponents are getting more difficult. So we're jumping into the final batch, the final 5 battles in this video. So let's go ahead and see who we face and see what teams they use. And let me tell you guys, these are some intense battles. We're rank 6. I know some people like rank 10, rank 9, absolutely crazy. We didn't do all of our battles every day, so we're not that high. But regardless, it's a Deoxys mirror match, and we're just farming up to that Thunderbolt. I knew this was going to be a Rock Slide, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. As you can see, it is a Rock Slide, totally fine with me. I do charge up a little bit extra and just go for the Thunderbolt. Was not expecting a shield at all, but he does shield. So that's good for me. I'm happy about that. So because he shielded, he's going to win this match unless Vi ultimately decides to shield down the road. But either way, I'm okay with that shield. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Thunderbolt, see if we can get some damage off. And he will not shield that one, so that's fine. I guess he wants to win the lead, so he is going to go ahead and use his energy, and I'm just going to allow Deoxys to go down. I feel like it did its job, so Deoxys does go down, and Azumarill comes in. So let's see what happens. I'm going to get to that Ice Beam, so I do go for the Ice Beam. So if he wants to try and get to a Thunderbolt, he's going to have to shield this, and he does shield it. So he does want that Thunderbolt. He does want that damage against me, but I know I could take it, so I allow him to get off the Thunderbolt. It's going to do good damage, but I still knew I could take it, and then I'm trying to farm him down. Unfortunately, he's going to get off a charge move, probably a Rock Slide. I'm going to take it. It is a Rock Slide. I called that, and then we're going to feint him. So I was lucky that that was a Rock Slide, and I did not shield that. Thunderbolt would have knocked me out, but that's okay. He brings in his Swampert. We can go safely for that Hydro Pump because it's going to do a lot of damage. He has no shields, and I'm unfortunately going to be fainted down, but that's totally cool. I bring in my Registeel. Now, I do go ahead and shield this. I do not want to risk the Earthquake at all. It's going to be an Earthquake, so luckily for us, we did shield that. And he actually gets to another move. I knew this was going to be a Hydro Cannon, so I am going to go ahead and take it. And it is a Hydro Cannon. As you can see, we could take that nice and fine. And then we just feint down with Lockdown. We have energy locked and loaded against this Registeel. And all we have to do is go for Focus Blast, right? That's why I fainted down with Lockdown. You never know. We just want to try and charge up to another Focus Blast. We had a shield even if he got to one. So we're going to be able to win this game. But very well played on my opponents and very strong opponent. All 5 of these opponents are super strong. Really good players. So, yeah. Very good game. So we're going to jump into my next opponent. Opponent number 2. I do lead with Deoxys. She leads with Tropius. So I am happy to see this. Now, I believe this is a Razor Leaf variant as it is. So we do have Rock Slide, which is super effective against Tropius because it is part flying. So we're going to go ahead and go for those Rock Slides. And again, as I said, really happy with this matchup that will be shielded. And then we're going to go ahead and try to get to another one. I believe I let this go. I do. I'm okay with losing this matchup if we could take shields. So I do get to another Rock Slide. Will she shield it? Will she allow it to go through? Only time will tell. She does shield it, so we take 2 shields from the first Pokemon, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it depends on the situation. Obviously, we cannot allow that Tropius in against my Azumarill, so I have to switch because I cannot have that Tropius against my Azumarill because Tropius with a Razor Leaf attack does not care about shields, so as we know, right? So I am going to go straight for the Hydro Pump. I guess I could have charged up a little bit extra to try and get to the Ice Beam against the Tropius. I should have done that because he couldn't have gotten to couldn't have gotten to a Shadow Ball that quick, I don't think. Anyway, we take this attack. We actually live it. So we're down to our last Pokemon, both shields remaining. I go immediately for my Flash Cannon against this Tropius. It will not knock it out, and then she'll switch into Azumarill, so that's fine for us. We're still up 2 shields, guys. Now, she could have the Hydro Pump, but that's totally fine. That's why I like preserving shields. Now, I'm not saying you should never burn them early on, but as you can see, a lot of times, even on my last Pokemon, there are times I still let the attack go through, which may seem crazy, but sometimes I do it. It depends on the situation and how I'm feeling. Sometimes I use them early. But I am going to go ahead and go for the Flash Cannon right now. And that's actually not going to knock out the Azumarill. And I think I just try and feint down. I do go ahead and go for the shield, and I think I commit to feinting down. So it is a play rough, and I know I could take a play rough anyway. So actually, no, I don't feint down. Wow. I thought I was going to try and feint down with Lock on. I do not. So I actually knock it out with Flash Cannon, and then the Tropius comes in, and this Tropius hits me with a charge move. What I should have done was feinted down with Lock On, because I think I could have and had the Flash Cannon. Regardless, it doesn't matter, because we could tank those Razor Leafs and Leaf Blades with Registeel and still get to a Flash Cannon, so we're still going to win this, but I believe that's what I should have done, because I think we could have feinted Azumarill with Lock On before it was able to get to another charge move. And even if it got to a charge move, it wouldn't have knocked us out. So I believe that was a mistake. But regardless, jump into the next game. I do lead with my Deoxys against Lucario. Positive for us. She switches into Registeel. Again, pretty good for us as well because we have energy locked and loaded. So actually going to shield that. So that's fine. So I am going to go ahead and allow this attack Flash Cannon to go through. It's going to hit my Deoxys for good damage, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and charge up to a Thunderbolt, and I'll just let it fly. It doesn't do a lot to a Registeel, but I'll take that damage, right? And then we're just going to try and feint down the Registeel. Unfortunately, she does get to a charge move, so I will shield this Flash Cannon, and now my goal is to just feint down the Registeel. So we're going to go ahead and go straight for that Rock Slide. I wish I went for the Thunderbolt, but I went for the Rock Slide against the Azumarill, and I'm just going to go ahead and just continue to do whatever damage I can. So we do have that Registeel in. We do bring it now. And we do have to watch out for the Hydro Pump. Obviously, it could be a Hydro Pump variant. I think most of them have been. This is going to be a Play Rough, though. Could be a Bluff. Could just have Ice Beam Play Rough, right? So I do switch as well into my Azumarill, and I shield this because I'm afraid of the Shadow Ball. It is a Power Punch, so that was a nice bait on her end. So this attack I'm going to take, I'm assuming there's no way that she's at a Shadow Ball, right? So it's another Power Up Punch, and I do go for the Ice Punch. Maybe she's trying to do a couple power-up punches so she can get to a Shadow Ball and just like knock me out or something, which is a good play. So I'm afraid of the Shadow Ball, but we're able to feint down before she gets to a Shadow Ball. That's probably what she was going for. So well played on her end to try and get to the Shadow Ball. Maybe she might have been there or close to it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So we do hit that Azumarill with the Hydro Pump, and we're going to take this attack, whatever it is, going to be that Play Rough. So I wanted her to use the energy before I switched. So then I switched into Registeel for my Flash Cannon. And that Flash Cannon will knock it out, and that will be the game. I could have switched out early and just went for the Flash Cannon. But that's okay. Anyway, we're going up against my next opponent. I actually know him. I'm friends with him. Yeah, we're friends in-game. It's crazy that I'm battling somebody I know. So this was a fantastic game. So shout out to you, man. Haunter against my Deoxys. After I saw that damage, I'm like, I got to get out immediately. Switching into Swampert. This is still not good for me because of that Earthquake, so I am going to go ahead and go for the Focus Blast. From the beginning of the game, I'm like, this is definitely not a good situation for me. We're going to be hit with a Charge Attack. I let it go hoping it's a bluff because I need to make up something, right? I need to make up charge attacks. So it was a bluff. It was a Hydro Cannon. However, this Hydro Cannon is going to knock me out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Actually, it didn't knock me out. I think one more Mud Shot did, but that's okay. So I do bring in my Deoxys Defense trying to farm down. He'll be able to get off one more attack, which is going to be a Hydro Pump. Not a Hydro Pump, a Hydro Cannon. I think I call Hydro Cannon Hydro Pump a lot. I apologize for that, guys. So we do feint down, and then we go straight for the rock. Actually, no, he gets off a charge attack. This is going to cost me a shield because I knew that Haunter was coming in. I do go for the rock slide against Haunter. I know it's going to be shielded. It has to be. So it is shielded. So then I switch into my Azumarill, and he is going to go for a charge attack. I'm hoping it's a bait, so I decide not to shield. It's actually a Shadow Ball. Holy cow, that does a lot of damage. Registeel comes in. I'm going straight for that Hydro Pump. Got to get off as much damage as possible against his team. I didn't think I was going to win. I thought it was looking pretty poorly for me, but I'm not giving up. So he'll go for the Flash Cannon, knocking out my Azumarill, and now all I have is my Deoxys. I still have a shield, but he does. So I was like, okay, obviously I have to shield, right? So I have to feint down Registeel and get off 2 Rock Slides, because one Rock Slide to take the shield, the other Rock Slide to knock out the Haunter. And I didn't know if I was at 2 Rock Slides. So I go for the Rock Slide. Obviously the shield is going to come up. I didn't know if I was at another one. I am not. I was 1 away. We actually get to it. We get to that rock slide and we knock out this Haunter, guys, and we win this game. I thought I was going to lose that game. Very well played, my friend. Thank you so much. Our friendship actually increases. So it was a pleasure to battle you, even though it was on Go Battle League. I'm looking forward to future battles. But we're jumping into my last opponent, and this was another very difficult match. So I do lead with Deoxys again against Alolan Marowak. So this is interesting. If he gets off a Shadow Ball, it's going to do a lot. If I get off Rock Slide, it's going to do a lot. So I call the bait here. I'm like, I hope it's a Bone Club. It is. So we do catch that bait correctly. We do call it correctly, and I get off my Rock Slide. This is going to do a lot if it goes unshielded, and it is going to be shielded, so that's fine. I do switch into my Zoom Arrow, and he's going to pull the switch into his Swampert, so I am charging up for Hydro Pump. I'm like, well, you know what, maybe he won't want to shield because he already used the shield. He only has one left, so maybe he'll let this go through. He actually does shield it, so nice play on his end. And of course, you guys know I'm afraid of the Sludge Wave, so I am going to go ahead and shield it. It's going to be a Hydro Cannon, so that's a nice bluff on his end. He has another attack. I was thinking maybe it's another Hydro Cannon. It's actually going to be an Earthquake, so that's annoying, but at least it's not a Sludge Wave. But he gets to a Hydro Cannon, and I am going to shield this because I know my Hydro Pump can knock out the Swampert. So I do have that Hydro Pump ready to go against Swampert, so this is going to be able to knock out Swampert. Too bad those weren't reversed, right, where I shielded the Earthquake and took the Hydro Cannon. Now Skarmory comes in. I am going to switch to my Registeel. We could tank all those moves. He switches into a Alolan Marowak. This is not good for me because we're weak to Bone Club, but Bone Club is a weak move. Now, that doesn't mean it's not good, because it's definitely good at baiting shields, but because of how bulky we are, we're able to take that nicely. You know, we could take those. It's, you know, it charges up fast, and plus he's doing Fire Spin damage to me, so we are taking a lot. What is that, Hex? Is that Hex or Fire Spin? I can't tell. But either way, we're going to take another Bone Club. Actually able to take it and get off a Flash Cannon. It is Fire Spin. Okay, so we do get off the Flash Cannon. So this is going to be able to knock him out. His Skarmory is obviously going to be able to knock me out, but I switch immediately. He'll get off a Sky Attack. I know I could take it. This is a Defense Deoxys we're talking about, so we do take it. And I do charge up for Thunderbolt. Not going to be enough to knock him out, but it's still going to do good damage. You know, so as you can see, good damage, and he does get off a charge move. He could have fainted me down, but he's probably afraid to. Totally understandable. So I bring in my Azumel, and guys, guess what? We get to an Ice Beam and we win. I did not think I was going to win this one, too. So the last two games, super close, super good. Thank you so much for battling. I'd love to know who this trainer was because it was a super close game, but yeah, really well. So as you can see, we are ranked 6. I'm going to show you in a moment, and we're not quite rank 7 yet, but we'll get there, and that will be it for this one, guys. See you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.